Thank you, Robert. So we're here to start looking at some highlights of that game, because that was quite an awesome game to watch.
It was quite an explosive finish, yeah.
Yeah, can we get to highlight one, and we'll just get straight into it. Okay, so missed the very, very start of the opening hands, but what do you think of these opening hands for this matchup?
The opening plays here. So, yeah, Sebastian kind of not a great opening hand with double Mystical Space Typhoon, but he did have the kind of the very basic cards that you need, which is a Vanity's Emptiness, something to stop, then Trishula, Bottomless Trapple, and he had a Pot of Duality to be able to search for his deck to find a monster, because he didn't have a monster at that moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, opening a hand like that, I'd feel incredibly nervous about it, because your Pot of Duality makes or breaks your hand there, and you have no idea what's in the next three.
No, exactly, because that hand is very much going to be, I'm going to set these 4 cards, and then I'm playing with whatever comes off of this Pot of Duality.
Yep, just letting them ride, and in this case it worked out.
Yeah, exactly.
If we take a look at highlight 2, this is a little bit later in the match, and we see the Necro Valley, which is a key piece of information for us. Is it Giovanni playing the Nekroz deck?
Yeah, so he immediately finds out this technology card that's being played here by Sebastian. So Necro Valley stops a lot of core plays from Nekroz, as we spoke about during the game, and I think you're right, that was shown quite early on in game 1.
Yeah, and it let him swing through the Valkyrus because he was unable to banish.
Yeah, we completely missed that when we were watching, because it was off to the side and we couldn't see, but you know.
I was sat in the room when I was doing the highlights, and I heard it, and I was holding my breath going, oh, spot the Necro Valley, spot the Necro Valley.
Yeah.
It's there, it's there.
So we spotted it at the end.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that was, that was a boo-boo on our part.
Nah, don't worry about it. So I want to go to highlight 4, because this was actually just freaking hilarious. Can we take a look at highlight 4? Yeah, it's to be fair to these two judges. Well, they're not judges, are app masters. They didn't realize the camera was coming out at the end of each round, so they're just sort of working out there, sort of airplane safety stuff. And we all just sort of broke down laughing in the sort of in the studio looking at this. And you may have saw that later on in the match, they all started standing up straight when someone went over and said, "You know you're on camera, right?"
I mean, Michael's just sorting his neck out. I mean, it's really difficult kind of looking up and down at the app. And
I don't know if he's trying to make the clicking noise, and it's a man check that they're both trying. But
yeah, I don't know. Those sideburns must restrict his neck movement. Do you not think? It's got to, hasn't it?
I can't grow sideburns. I just get whiskers and look ridiculous. I can only grow the front part.
No, I can't even get that.
Let's jump back into the match. I had to bring that up again because it was so funny to watch.
Yeah.
So if we go to highlight 5, this was a play that you seemed quite excited about.
Yeah, so the outsmarting the outsmart, it was very interesting. So it's a play you generally make if each one of the mirrors has a monster tied to it in people's mind of what they're going to summon with it. And Kaleidoscope is usually Unicorn. Now, in this particular case, he managed to have a play that was Unicorn because he didn't search Unicorn, so his opponent didn't know he had Unicorn. He was able to outsmart him by kind of going, oh, well, maybe this is the only mirror I have. I'm just going to play this one with Shuret and Trishula. But he did Mind Crush in the end and managed to continue his regular line of plays. Now, if his opponent had Mind Crush Unicorn, he'd have just revealed his hand and he'd have seen the fact that he was going to get Trishula'd, which isn't nice.
Yeah, that would have ended really badly for him.
Yeah.
Well, all things did end badly for him as we look at highlight 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see an amassed field, very dominating position for Giovanni.
Yeah, so that's quite a lot of damage. Trishula was actually Venus Chained here. So that's 6/6 with the Valkyrus, the Manju, and the Unicorn. And then the very typical Cowboy coming out there.
Gaga Cowboy, subtly influencing games since its release a long time ago, simply adding that 800 damage.
800's quite a lot.
It
is quite a lot.
And it catches people off guard, or at least it created a danger zone because it was such a easy card for decks to access, being a rank 4, that players could go into that late game and make harder pushes that normally you wouldn't make because you just couldn't finish the game. And then
it allows you to in these kind of combo very very big board, destroy your opponent very quickly decks, allow you to play. So I know you'd play them anyway, but like the fact that Manju only has 1400 attack points, people think like, oh, that's not a lot of attack points. I'm probably not going to be able to get much damage in, but a lot of decks can now do that because of that extra little 800 damage you can make. You can play these level 4 monsters, which might have really useful effects and not necessarily big attack points because they can be turned into a cowboy later on to add that extra bit of damage.
And we'll take a look at Highlight 7. I would have done more highlights in this game, but it was over so fast. And we see the Raw Decree. By the way, I'm going to call you out. Another card that negates traps, Jinzo. Don't know how you forgot that.
Yeah.
And then, then we see the blue tidal wave coming in and crashing down.
Yeah, the big blue stick.
Yeah.
That is Nekroz.
Yeah, and the Raw Decree is so powerful there, especially when played alongside Denko Sekka. That's a lot of hate towards Burning Abyss and the traditional Klee deck, not the Turbo Towers build, which is playing like 2 trap cards. But
yeah, it's actually one of my favourite plays. If you have just your Raw Decree set, you can summon Denko Sekka. As long as you don't get Solemn Warninged, you get turn player priority to activate cards, and you can flip over your Raw Decree, and then your opponent just can't do anything. All their trap cards are completely disabled by Raw Decree and Denko Sekka.
So you have the extra layer of protection.
Extra layer of protection, yeah.
Okay, that was all the highlights we were taking a look at for that match. We had into the end of match procedure downstairs when we started this, so hopefully we won't be keeping you guys for too long, but stay with us, we'll be back soon.